by their platforms.
Their constant pursuit of engagement and profit over basic safety have all put our kids and grandkids at risk.
At issue, fears of a worsening mental health crisis among children and teens due to social media, including increased risk of depression and suicide, as well as promotion and access to dangerous or illicit substances, national security concerns, and online child sexual exploitation.
You have blood on your hands.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle blasting the 5 CEOs for not backing legislation to keep users safe.
I'm so tired of this. It's been 28 years, since the internet. We haven't passed any of these bills because everyone's double talk.
The social media companies have largely maintained they are best suited to help users make smart decisions, touting enhanced safety policies and tools while also deflecting responsibility.
Mental health is a complex issue, and the existing body of scientific work has not shown a causal link between using social media and young people having worse mental health outcomes.
Yeah, so what Mark is saying here is absolutely not true. Here's one article. Of course, the link, as always, is in the description below. But this is a meta-analysis, which is the synthesis of many different research papers. So the method outlined was 133 independent samples, and the sample size, meaning how many subjects that included, likely teens, it was 244,000. So it's a pretty good sample. The purpose of this meta-analysis is to examine the relation between extending the research scope via the inclusion of studies examining problematic use of all platforms. By the way, they looked at all the platforms that testified here in Congress. TikTok, Facebook, X, Snapchat, and TikTok. So, as expected, pretty much, as we already know, when was this published? 2020. As expected, the mean correlation between problematic social media use and well-being are negative, meaning problematic, meaning using more than you should. I actually want to see how they define this, so I'll look into that in a second. But social media use and well-being are negative, meaning that the more you use social media, likely the worse off your well-being. While those between problematic use, social media use, and distress are positive, meaning you experience more distress the more you use social media. Life satisfaction and self-esteem are commonly used to represent well-being, while depression and loneliness are used to indicate distress. Oh, okay, so that's how they defined their distress and well-being. Mean correlations, meaning average. Problematic social media use with life satisfaction and self-esteem are small. So yeah, essentially the point is what Mark said there is absolutely not true, and the senator, as the senator points out, he is, they're all of these platforms, of course, want to defend themselves and act like they're not doing anything wrong.
You have blood on your hands.
That was Republican Senator Lindsey Graham during a heated exchange on Capitol Hill earlier. Lawmakers grilled top tech CEOs of social media platforms about what they're doing to protect kids online. During another heated moment, Senator Dick Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois, pressed TikTok CEO Shao Chu for not doing enough to stop child sex exploitation on the ByteDance-owned platform.
TikTok has become a, quote, platform of choice for predators to access.
The CEOs garnered bipartisan criticism.
Your platforms really suck at policing themselves.
Mr. Zuckerberg, what the hell were you thinking?
And the hearing room was packed with parents who held photos of children who have been victims on the platforms.
Here is another paper published in 2020. It's a systematic review, so it's not the highest quality of evidence that we would like to see, but of course it is, tremendously difficult to get very high quality information a lot of the times. This is still, I think, some useful information. So in this particular paper, and I don't even know how So they actually looked at gender distribution among social media, which is pretty interesting. But I don't know how this could even be accurate in the first place, because there's no verification like on Twitter. I clicked the bubble that for my gender, but I could have clicked female, and so how would they know if I was male or female? I don't know. So I question the accuracy maybe of some of this stuff, but I would suspect that it's probably somewhat accurate. I don't think most people are lying. This is funny. Snap is almost the only one with more men than women. I don't even remember putting my gender in Snapchat. Wow. So this paper took a number of different articles, social media, mental health. These were the search terms. Here's how they sorted, and then here were the papers that they included. And so 8-year longitudinal findings: increased time on social media was not associated with increased developmental. Oh wow, that's impressive. Social media use was not predictive of impaired mental health. See, Marky Mark wants to cite these studies, and honestly, you could spend a tremendous amount of time going into depth here. So Quinn et al. Because really, to be thorough here, what you would do is go to each one of these papers and see how they were done. But there's a lot of, at the end of the day, there's a ton of garbage research that's done. And so I don't know how accurate a lot of this is going to be, but can I even get to here's the full paper. An individual who comes in once yearly. Okay, good. Are you kidding me? In this article that's cited, that was used in my original paper, this illustrates the point particularly well. An 8-year longitudinal study trying to figure out if social media depression, anxiety were a thing. The participants completed once yearly questionnaires between 13 and 820. That's 7 years. Okay, whatever. Results revealed increased time on social media was not associated with mental health issues. See, and then again, how are you identifying mental health issues? You could just tear this, a lot of these can just be torn apart and really shredded. Anyway, so, there's probably quite a bit of garbage in this study, but, if you look at the conclusion, studies have found that social media can have a detrimental effect on the psychological health of its users. However, the extent to which is yet to be determined. Yeah, man, I don't know. Again, there's, I'm going to skip to, yeah. Here's another paper. Again, this is just, we could spend all day doing this kind of stuff. Effective psychiatric symptoms on internet addiction. Okay, this was in one university. I don't know where that is. There was an association between psychiatric symptoms, somatization, sensitivity, depression, anxiety, aggression, psychosis with exception of paranoia. Controlling for age, sex education, and type of university. Yeah, I think Mark is just lying between his teeth. He's sitting in his ivory tower and building a bunker. I think Mark Zuckerberg is spending too much time in his secret Hawaiian compound.
Meta's Instagram helped connect and promote a network of pedophiles. Snapchat's disappearing messages have been co-opted by criminals who financially extort young victims. TikTok has become a, quote, platform of choice for predators to access, engage, and groom children for abuse. And the prevalence of CSAM on X has grown as the company has gutted its trust and safety workforce.
So this point is pretty funny. Mark Zuckerberg gets up and actually turns around and apologizes to the families. I mean, honestly, these people do deserve an apology for the law. I mean, at the very least, I think that's the very least that Mark Zuckerberg could do to help to these people. I do think his Facebook for sure has just gone into the toilet and the dumpster. I mean, I don't really spend any time on Facebook except if I'm trying to sell something or buy something. I think the amount of content that's put out there, it's extremely hard to monitor. I mean, they have a tough job, but of course they also have tons of money to employ people. Recently in the past year, tech has laid off quite a tremendous amount of their workforce. I'm curious to know how much of that was actually policing, self-policing, self-policing force.
Fire anybody. You haven't compensated a single victim. Let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now?
Well,
they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
I'm sorry for everything that you have all gone through. It's terrible. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invest so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
Mr. Zuckerberg, you and the companies before us, I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands. You have a product. You have a product that's killing people. When we had cigarettes killing people, we did some about it, maybe not enough. You're going to talk about guns, we have the ATF. Nothing here. There's not a damn thing anybody can do.
Honestly, the rest of this stuff is just kind of like a circus stunt. I mean, even having Mark Zuckerberg stand up and apologize to these people, yeah, they deserve an apology, but that's not going to fix the main issue. They're still going to be bullied, and all this wild nonsense is still going to happen. The senator asking him to turn around and apologize. I mean, what is that? It's a dog and pony show. And just like our political system, it's like, what are we doing here? Having Mark Zuckerberg stand up and twirl around and do a little pony dance. I mean, what is this going to do? That doesn't solve the problem.
Now to apologize to the victims
Come
who have
on.
been harmed by your product. Show them the pictures.
What
Come
was
on.
that feeling when he actually
Come
turned
on.
around, looked at you,
Come on.
started talking?
Your families have
Come on.
suffered.
He looks sweaty and weird.
Come on. Come on. Come on, folks.
Our country is in serious trouble.
$100 million.
Come on. Come on, folks.
Quarantine. Hey, go
Come
ahead
on.
and smash that like button if you're staying safe in quarantine. Go ahead and smash that like button real quick if you're together.
Come
if
on.
you're in it with us together. Do me a quick favor. Go ahead and smush that like button if you don't want to do any more Zooms.
Come
Go
on.
ahead and stamp that like fixture if you pretty much
Come
only
on.
been eating Nutri-Grain bars.
Come
Go ahead
on.
and do me a solid. Go ahead and smash that like
Come
button
on.
if you've started naming all the doors in your apartment. Don the door, Dave the door, Dylan the door, Derek the door. Real quick, if you could smooch that model, if you think that there might be something.